Welcome back to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. And I'm going to tell you, I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, oh, Tuddle, you only do this because you have a crush on this next guest. And you know what? I'm not going to deny it. I do. I really, really do, because this is one of the most interesting women that I've met in the past decade when I've worked in radio, and you've heard her on the show before. Welcome to the Tuddle Daily Podcast, the one and only Scarlett Lush. Scarlett, how are you, my friend?
Great. How are you?
I'm not trying to be creepy, but holy majoli, your boobs look big as hell right now.
Yeah, I know it's Calvin Klein, their new push-up bras.
Now, you know what, though? Like, a lot of people, I know that you're into cosplay. I get a whole 101 Dalmatians type feel out of that top that you're wearing. Like you skinned a whole bunch of Dalmatian puppies. And now that you lifted up and showed the boobage off, I know that it's not that. But it kind of has that little bit of a feel.
Right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. It does. It kind of looks like little spots. It's little cat prints, but good enough.
So I gotta ask, like, now as a redhead, and I love redheads, do you have to be careful as a woman wearing red lipstick, because you just take it to a whole new level? You're wearing red lipstick compared to the palish type skin, which is great because you have that China type doll skin, and then with the red hair, like, I mean, it's the full package.
Yeah, I mean, you just have to know what undertones of red to wear when it comes to your lipstick. So
because you don't want to give too much red, right? Like, you don't want to go red on red on red.
Yeah, I think it becomes a little monotone at that point. But yeah, I think redheads look good in red lipstick. You just got to find the right color. So
now, so it's been a while since I last talked. Catch me up. What has life in the pandemic been for, like, a dominatrix that is on OnlyFans? And before we get into the subject, let's plug where everybody can find you. Your OnlyFans page. Where can people check that out?
It's onlyfans.com/Scarlett Lush with 2 T's.
No, so it's 2 T's and an E at the end.
No E at the end.
No E. All right, see, you have to explain that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, I think if you Google me, it'll probably pop up in the top, but there's also, I'm sure, a lot of other Scarletts out there.
Okay, so before we get into the other stuff, are you doing much gaming right now?
I am. I did play.
Are you playing Among Us yet? Are you playing Among Us?
That's the one that I started playing with my friends. But growing up without, like, gaming's different than we were young. We played this Werewolf a lot, which is like the same thing. I don't know if you ever played it. It's a card game, but it's the same thing. Like, you like, somebody's the werewolf in the village, and you all put your heads down on the table. It's kind of like a drinking game. And then you have to try to guess who the werewolf is in the group. This video game version is much easier, though. It's way less complicated.
Now explain Among Us to people that have never played it before. Like, explain the game Among Us, because I've been seeing a lot of it on TikTok. I've been seeing a lot of it on Instagram, as well as YouTube and Twitch. Yeah. Explain Among Us to people.
Well, if you're a board gamer, it's very similar to Werewolf, Secret Hitler, or there was like a Mafia game, but I forgot what it's called. Basically, you're just a little avatar in a spaceship, and then when the game starts, you can't talk to each other, and somebody is the killer, and you don't know who it is. And then
so let me ask you. So before you start the game, are you already designated the killer, the imposter?
You kind of like start in a little neutral base, and when everybody's ready to go, it'll just say game starting, and then it'll say you are the imposter, and you can pick how many imposters, and we usually just do one to make it a little bit easier. And then as the imposter, you got to go around and kill people and try not to get caught, and have them figure out it's you. And if you kill everybody, then you win as the imposter.
but it's pretty wicked though, because you're trying to deceive everybody, right? So like a lot of innocent people end up getting killed in the game.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh well, there's sacrifice for the game.
So let me back up a little bit here. So you are living in the DC area,
Yeah,
correct?
I am.
So how has it been pandemic wise right now? Have you been able to get a little bit back to normal, or are you still having to be careful with your motions and reactions and stuff?
Yeah, I'm still not really going out. Most of the events I went to before are closed. There's not really any kink events right now. I live in Arlington and they're actually still really strict. Like if there's more than 3 people congregating on the street, they can write you a ticket for I don't even know, like a couple $100s or something. So they're still really strict on it. You have to wear a mask inside. So I don't know. I'm just trying to like lay low and not be around people because even
And
yeah, either way, people are
and
really cranky and it's just easier to stay out of the way.
and I'm not trying to delve into how much you make a year, but give me an idea of how much this has affected you revenue wise on what a normal year would be like for how you make your money. Like how much percentage would you say? Is it less? Is it more? Kind of give me an
Oh,
idea.
I mean, I'm making way less now and I'm having to kind of retransition to being online only. I usually fly to several different cities a year and see regular
So
clients.
you have guys. Do you have I know you personally. I know that you're careful at what you do,
Mhm.
but do you have those guys that you are comfortable with that are clients that you go out and you dominate them?
Yeah, absolutely. I have clients that I think the longest one that's been serving me now is 7, maybe 8 years. He's in Florida,
I
so
mean, that's back to
I don't-
when I knew you. That's
yeah.
back to when I knew you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was definitely interacting with him when you and I knew each other, so it's been a while.
Now,
Most
do
of my
you do
clients
you
are working for him.
now do you have a personal relationship with them? I know you have to keep them at an arm's distance because you never know when they're going to be weird, but do you get a personal relationship with those type of people after a certain amount of years where you trust them that you have a personal relationship with?
Yeah, the people that I think are a little weird, I usually just kind of keep them online and don't really see them in
Yeah.
person. The people that are normal, yeah, I generally know what's going on in their life. I check up with them. I see what they're doing, how they're up to, and yeah, I would definitely say it's not like a romantic relationship, but it's more than a friendship. It's intimate,
But
but
it's a mutual agreement between two people.
yeah,
Now I want to ask you, you know, and I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass, but like you are one of the most attractive, powerful women that I know. Okay.
yeah.
I went out on a couple of dates with this chick, okay?
Hmm.
And like listen, I'm not one, I've never been one of those superficial people, okay? But I have been busting my ass since the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
I've gotten in shape. I've lost a lot of weight.
have gained some
I'm
muscle
getting in.
too.
Yes. Like look, I mean, I'm not trying to be
Oh, I know.
like
I follow you
trying to like
online.
show
I
off.
see your gains, your sweet gains, brah. You're doing good.
Well, listen, you know how to talk to me, but what I'm saying though is like, you know, I've been going for that nerd vibe, okay? Like I am that nerdy type guy, which I like, okay? Because that is me. That is my wheelhouse. But like, how do I need to approach women? Because I've been dating this girl. I've gone out on a couple of dates with her. She's a nurse, okay? She got a great job. You would think a nurse. She is ahead of her group. Like, if you could give me advice, how do I play it without looking like that pathetic type guy that is just hungry to get laid. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. How many dates have you been on?
Okay, so back in February, I was on all those psychotropic drugs,
Yeah.
which completely killed my sex drive. Okay.
Mhm.
But I got off of those. And in February, I was and I'm not trying to be a dick or anything, but what I'm trying to say is, like, when I got off of those, I was like a teenage boy. I was masturbating every chance I got. Now I went on a couple of dates with her, and then the pandemic started.
Okay.
And now we started going out on a couple of dates. But I feel like, what is the best way that I can play it without looking desperate? Because I don't think women like desperate men.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think women like desperate men. I think women are leaning a little bit less towards the sort of Chad kind of, as they call them, like the alpha.
What do you mean, Chad? Explain Chad.
I feel like the internet describes Chad as kind of like the bro guy in the bar, a little loud, a little aggressive. I feel like the middle ground seems like to be the safe spot for women these days.
Okay, but you can go way too far to the other side, right? Like,
Yeah.
as a man, women want that guy that kind of takes a little bit control, right? But they don't want that. They don't want that bro guy, though, right?
Yeah, I feel like you don't always have to take charge, but I think confidence goes a long way too. Have you guys?
So what is the fine balance, though? What is the fine balance, though?
Well, you.
And I'm sorry to throw you off. I just, you being a very strong-willed woman, I wanted to pick your brain on this.
Yeah. I think just showing her your true self, but also being comfortable in your own skin, not questioning who you are and what you're into, goes a long way.
Yeah, I've never been that type of guy, though. You've known me. Like, I'm down for anything.
Yeah.
I let you actually spit in my face and stand on my face. Like, so you can't say that I'm a stuck-up type guy. I had your feet on my face. Like, I don't think a lot of people realize, and I'm not saying you're a big girl, but any size type woman standing on your face is kind of a big deal.
I agree. Have you two at least kissed yet?
Yes, we have.
Okay. And you haven't had sex yet?
No.
Does she know that you talk about her on your podcast?
Yes, yeah. She listens to my podcasts all the time.
So she's not going to be mortified by this?
No. She won't be.
Okay. Well, that's
so. But what I'm saying, though, is, like, it's kind of weird because I was married for so long, Scarlett, that you get out of practice, because I was dating my wife. I got married in my mid-20s, and then I got divorced in my mid-30s. So you kind of, a 10-year gap is a big difference when it comes to generational wise, wouldn't you say?
Of course, I agree with that.
So I want to talk a little bit about you. Now, do you ever see yourself settling down? Or do you think you're always going to be like that single entity for the rest of your life?
I will settle down as far as partners go, but I don't want children. So
you don't. No, I mean, and I'm not judging you with that, because I'm never going to have children as well too, because the way I look at it is that people in general think that it's your duty as a human being to have kids. And I think that's kind of irresponsible.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really want them. And I have a lot of medications I take because of my chronic migraines that I can't really do both. I'm either suffering every day and trying to have a kid, or feeling good about my life and not.
Now, what is your migraines from? If you don't want to talk about it, I mean, is it a psychological thing or a physical thing? Have they been able to tell?
Yeah, it's actually genetic. It comes from the women's side of my family. We all have them. It's just mine are the worst. Like, my mom's triggers are just like her
Is
hormone.
it stress for you, or is it just like environment? Like,
Yeah,
because like I
all of
get
it.
migraines from just like a cold front coming in.
Yes, that
Coming.
too. Yeah, pressure changes in the air. When I was in Florida, anytime like a hurricane would come, flying on planes, stress, too little sleep, things like that can trigger it. So
Now, is it debilitating for you?
it was. I'm on better meds now, so they're. I would say they're like 90% under control. I do have like a day every once in a while where I'm in bed all day and I'm sick to my stomach and I can't do much. But for the most part, yeah, they're much better.
All right. So now I want to talk about this, and I was thinking about this, and I would be lying if I would not say this. From the very time that I met you, that day that you came on 1025 The Bone, I would be lying if I said that I did not have an extreme crush on you as a person. What would it take? Because I know you're into cosplay. I know you're into that nerdy type people. Like, what would it take for somebody like me? Because you are a very, very you're a woman that knows what she likes, right?
Yes.
So what I'm trying to say, what would it take for somebody as nerdy looking as me, as goofy looking as I am, to like, what would it take for somebody like myself to gain your attention? That would be like, oh, you know what? That Tuddle guy, even though he is very creepy and nerdy looking, he might be, somebody I might be interested in, a toy that I could play around with.
Well, first off, I don't think you're creepy. I wouldn't use that descriptor to describe you at all.
I'm trying to jokingly say, but you got to admit that some women would look at me as like, oh, that's a creep. Here, I'll give you an example. Okay. There is a woman that, because I took time away from radio, I'm doing this podcast, and the age range here in the camp where my parents live is around 60 to 70 years old. Okay. But there is a woman that has moved into the park. She's in at least the 10-year range of me, older or younger. I would have to feel she's younger than me, but I've been cooking a lot. And I think do women find guys that can cook sexy, or is that a turn on?
Absolutely. It's great when a guy can cook.
Okay, so I've been cooking food, okay? And I've been bringing it to this girl. She owns a paddle boarding company here locally, okay? So I'm not trying to be that guy overly aggressive. I've been bringing her food when I've been cooking, trying to, be nice, all right? And she's been very, very nice. Now, like when I'm out working out, running around, I'll walk by and she does not even say hi at all. Aww. So like, am I trying too hard? Is that like a sign that she's like, I'm not interested? Like, I mean, give me your breakdown of that situation.
Have you seen a wedding ring on her hand or her hanging?
No, she's not. I know she's not. She just got out of a relationship. But I will say this, and I'm not trying to stereotype her, but her whole paddleboarding company is kind of like, geared towards women. She's only hanging out with women, but she was in a relationship with a guy. Could she have gone the way of being a lesbian?
She could like both.
No, and I'm not trying to say like, oh, I'm some hot stuff. The only reason why she couldn't be interested in me is that she's lesbian. No, that's not the case. Yeah. I'm just trying to think like, at what point do I just cut bait and kind of like, because I've been nice.
I just have to ask her out, and then if she rejects you, then you cut bait, as you say.
And now, please listen. I'm not one of those guys. Like, if we are not going to take it to the next level, I can be platonic friends with women, and I think I've shown that to you, haven't I? I mean, like, I've never really. Like, I've made like random jokes about, oh, I think her hot and stuff like that. But like, I've always kept it platonic and at a friend level. I think I always have.
Yes, you're very professional. You could always just ask her to hang out as a friend and see where it goes, see if there's chemistry. That might be a little bit easier.
But like, let me ask you though, is it more uncomfortable for men than what it is for women? I know you're a woman, so you might not know what it is like for men, but what I'm saying though is like men don't want to look like the creepy, overly aggressive type person. But is it also to the point where women don't want to look like the cheap whores or something like that?
Well, for me, I'm never worried about looking like a whore or anything like that. I get nervous about turning down men only for the fact that I've had a couple of men get really like mean towards me or aggressive. I've never had like a guy like physically.
Or mean or controlling?
No, like they could not handle being rejected, so they got really mouthy with me. And
why did guys do that?
I don't know.
Do they, because I have a theory on this, okay, that they get hurt, they get their feelings hurt, and they feel like they have to overreact to like keep up their manliness type deal.
Yeah, maybe that's it. I don't know. So that's the only reason for me I've ever been apprehensive about it, is I don't want to like set somebody off and have them flare up at me, you know, in any type of way. But that's it. Otherwise, I don't really care how I look. If I like the person, I like them. If I don't, I don't. And I'm gonna
now. But you've never been this type of person. You're always upfront. You're always honest. You never try to portray yourself as somebody that you're not. But are there women out there that are complete users, people that try to take advantage of guys' emotions?
Oh, I believe so. I think there's women that lead men on, and that's really shitty. You shouldn't do that. You should not lead anybody on. You should be honest with yourself and somebody else and not take advantage of them.
Even though what you do, and that's the thing about it, a lot of people on the outside may look at what you do for a living and see that you prey and take advantage of weak men. And I really don't see that, because the Scarlett that I've known for the longest time, I've known you since 2012, is that you are always open and upfront going into things. You don't muddy the waters.
Yeah, and I don't seek them out. They always find me because they're looking for something. And I'm always the first person that says, if you can find this in person or with your partner or somebody, you know, that you have a deeper connection with and want that, please pursue that. Like I am fully I'm the person that fully believes you should live your best life. So I'm 100% on board with anything that makes a person happy. But I think that if they don't find me, they're just going to find somebody else. So I don't really feel guilty about it, because like I said, I'm not preying on men. I don't go and find them and manipulate them or do this to a person in a bar or a stranger. You know, we're very transparent and honest.
On the Tuddle Daily podcast right now with me is the one and only Scarlett Lush. Scarlett, tell people how they can find you right now if they want to check you out. I know that you're mainly focusing on your OnlyFans page.
Yeah, my website is Scarlett Lush with 2 T's, no E, .com. So ScarlettLush.com. I have an Instagram up again after being kicked off a few times, so it's pretty mild, but it's
you got to be careful, right? You got to be careful with what you post.
I know. And like I didn't even post anything. To me, I didn't think it was even. I wouldn't even consider it PG-13, but they flagged me a few times, so I'm not really sure why, because I don't really even post like lingerie pictures. I mean, definitely cleavage and stuff that's sexy, but nothing.
I don't understand how you could get in trouble for posting cleavage. If you're not showing areola or nips, I think you should be good to go with that, because when it all comes down to it, the breasts are technically not a sexual organ, in my opinion. Like, I mean, the breasts are meant to, the technical reason why breasts are there to feed kids, right? I mean, so I don't understand that. Now, I want to delve into a little bit about OnlyFans. Now, how has that been a game changer for people that do what you do? Like, explain to me, like OnlyFans, how much of a percentage does OnlyFans get? What do you get? Is it a fair percentage?
I believe their cut is 20%, but I could be wrong. And I think that's good. It's not really that much. For me, it's been great because I'm a very social person and I'm usually doing a lot of things during the week. And obviously now I can't do that. So it's a way to interact with people that I either already interacted with and it's just an easier way to communicate, or it's just new people that I've never talked to before.
Now,
So,
can people request private clips from you on OnlyFans?
yeah, I've been doing custom clips, custom photo shoots, one-on-one, like Skype time, kind of like what you and I are doing here. And then I did my first live stream, which was really fun.
How was that? And do people like send you bits like you would on like a Twitch or something? Like how does that work out when you do a live stream on OnlyFans?
It's an option on there. My only complaint was I did it Friday night and a lot of people couldn't get in. I guess there's a lot of traffic. So I wish it was a little bit better. Like Twitch, I never had that problem, but Twitch I know doesn't like it when you talk about anything that's in the nature of what I do, even just general spanking or rope bondage. So on OnlyFans, I can talk about anything, so it's great.
Now, but you have to use so you would say that OnlyFans is your main, when it comes to online stuff, your main income maker, right?
I'd say I make the most of my money from one-on-one Skype sessions and custom videos, but I spend the most time every day interacting with people on OnlyFans.
But where do you make those connections on those one-on-one like Skype sessions? Like where do you meet them at? Like how do you make those connections with new people?
They seem to find me. I don't know. It comes from everywhere. It's come from my YouTube, which I can't update anymore because YouTube doesn't like me. Instagram, Twitter, Reddit, my website. I think just me being online all the time and constantly talking to people about stuff helps because I'm pretty open about what I'm into, and that kind of helps gain traction.
See, what needs to happen is that, and I get it, because when you're in the moment, when I'm a radio guy, I go overboard. So what I think is that if you want to do these YouTube events or these Twitch events, you need me to come on as a host to kind of keep things under control. I know that very edge to take people up to because I've worked under the FCC guidelines. I know how to go right up to that line without going over, because it is very, very important. You cannot neglect the Instagram. You cannot neglect the YouTube. You can't neglect the Twitch, because that is how people are going to find you.
Yeah, and I still have my YouTube channel. It actually got deleted for a year, and I complained and they finally gave it back under the rule that I could not update anymore. So I still have it. I just can't update. And I don't really think the stuff I put on there was really that bad. Also, it was me talking about feet. There was one where I kind of did what I did with you, where I stepped on a guy. He was fully clothed. I was fully clothed, and we just
wouldn't let that.
Oh yeah, that got flagged, and they sent me an email and was like, "Do not post anything like this again." And I was really surprised because it wasn't like a sexual thing, It was like, "Tell me how hard."
It is not. Listen,
it was just people, like
I've had my face stepped on. And yes, it was a little sexual for me, but for the most part, having a step on your face with both feet with all of her weight on you is nowhere near being a sexual thing, because guess what? It kind of hurts people. It kind of hurts.
I would say it's like a dominating thing versus like a sex thing. So yeah, it was definitely like a femdom giant. I'm a woman and I'm going to stand on this small kind of guy, and he's going to see how long he could take it. But yeah, it was fun. And I had a lot of views. I had almost 1 million views on that video. Then I got flagged.
All right, so I want to talk a little bit more about OnlyFans. Are there? I know you have your limits of things you'll do because you're not a full-out porn star. You have your limitations because you don't have to do that. You are an amazing person. People will come and see you for what you do. But what are there any like limitations when it comes to OnlyFans? Like, can you do full girl on guy stuff when it comes to OnlyFans?
Yeah, I think the top OnlyFans, the top percentage are probably couples that are doing full penetrative sex. It's not something I do, and that's totally fine. It's just I do things that I'm more into, which is definitely like the BDSM stuff. So I just stick to what I like. I think you can do almost anything that you could see on normal porn.
Instead of it like abusive blood type stuff or anything like that, I'm sure that's kind of out of the question.
I don't know if you can do blood, but I think you can do some beat down stuff like normal fetishy, tying people up and hurting them kind of thing. But I haven't looked into it specifically yet.
Now, I've probably asked you this before, but what is the weirdest thing that a guy has ever requested from you?
Oh man, I've had so many. It's hard to pick just one.
And it could be like the smallest thing. It could be like, oh, I want you to dip your feet in cream cheese and step on my back or something,
Yeah. Okay, it's hard to pick one, so I'll just pick one that I've done fairly recent. It was like last year before COVID. He likes humiliation, so I was outside and it was at a kink event, so he could be naked, so I made him strip down naked, and then I made him eat all of the foods he didn't like, which was olives and those gross jelly beans that have the weird flavors.
The black ones, like the black jelly beans?
No, like the Harry Potter mystery ones.
Like yeah, like they taste like vomit, and some taste like all types of stuff. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I made him eat one, and then he'd have to say what it was, and if he got it wrong, I had a sock with an orange inside, and I would hit him with it like an old-fashioned jail beat down.
So you would straight up do why are people calling me right now? So no. But what I'm asking though is like, you have gone to a lot of these conventions with a lot of the nerds. Has any of these nerds, like, and when I say nerds, because I'm one of them, I'm it's like I can say nerd because I'm one of them. But what I'm saying though is like, have you ever had any of those like weird propositions when you've been at these conventions that have been proposed to you?
Yeah, but I usually
weird pickup lines, like just things that were kind of like, oh, that's cute. I completely understand, because you gotta think about the audience that's there.
Mm-hmm. I think the weirdest would.
Because every time I've seen you at Dragon Con, you seem like you've been rolling solo.
I don't know. I do usually go to an event with like a lot of friends, but I'm pretty good like being by myself or hanging with friends. I don't know. I sometimes I will go with like a partner and stuff, but I'm one of those people that can have fun with or without anybody. Like I'm always like down. I'm like you. I'm always down for a good time. I roll with the flow, and I just like to go get lost and see what's going on at these events. So
has there ever been a nerd that's been able to roll up on an amazing woman like yourself at one of these conventions and been able to been like, where you've been like, oh my God, this guy is so dreamy?
I honestly I do tend to favor nerdy people in general. I mean, because I'm a big nerd myself. Like,
and I'm not trying to talk about, there's always been this stereotype of the nerdy guys having the big penises.
I honestly haven't heard that one. Is that the stereotype?
Oh, I've heard that one before. But I mean, maybe I've watched too many porno flicks where, they've had the nerd being the antagonist, where like, oh, this nerd, oh my God, I'm going to have sex with him. And then he whips it out. The women are like, oh my God, oh
like
my,
so guy big. With the big glasses and the big penis. Yeah.
Like we're talking like donkey dick type stuff.
No. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really that picky when it comes to looks, honestly. I'm more of a personality. If I can feel comfortable with you and we can laugh a lot and have good chemistry.
Hey, I've made you laugh a couple of times during this interview, so that makes me actually feel kind of more confident.
Well, Tuddle, you always make me laugh. Laughing is a good aphrodisiac.
Yeah. So now Scarlett, let's before you go, let's talk about like what is in the future for you. You know, a lot of people are thinking that things are going to mysteriously get better at midnight on December 31st, 2020.
I wish.
Like what is your game plan? Like I mean, can you carry on with things the way they are with what you do for a living, or are you going to have to call an audible and come up with something different?
No, I'll be able to continue doing this, and I like it. I definitely prefer in person because that face to face contact and seeing people and interacting with them one on one is definitely better. But I'll make it work. I can adapt pretty well, and I'm good with computers and technology, so it wasn't that hard for me to switch over and figure it out.
Now, I'm sure I've asked this before, but even though this is kind of like a job for you,
Mhm.
when you're dominating a person that is a client, do you get personal pleasure out of it?
Yeah, if it's something I'm into, absolutely. I've definitely had scenes where I've gotten really turned on, and if they want, I will give them my underwear as a gift because they're wet, and I'm like, here you go, you did this.
Really? So,
Yeah.
so, so, like, what type of underwear? Are we talking like lingerie type stuff,
Oh yeah.
thongs?
I only wear cute underwear if I'm in a scene.
Now, and I'm not trying and see this is the type of relationship me and you have. I get embarrassed when I ask questions like this of
I know,
you.
I could tell you get all red and blushy. It's so cute.
Um, so like, I mean, do you get extremely like wet though when you do get really turned on?
Yes, I would definitely say I do.
Now, now I've had this debate with many people. Squirters, people that are squirters.
Yes.
Is it female ejaculate or is it urine?
It's female ejaculate. I will die on this hill. I think I told you this last time, but if I
I
didn't,
think you might have, but you got to remember, I've done a lot of stupid stunts. I've had a lot of concussions. I've also drank and done massive amounts of drugs. So,
and you talk to
um,
people all the time every day, so I'm not doing a podcast. But my hill I will die on is that I take vitamins that turn my pee yellow, orange, and when I squirt is clear. So that's
okay, so
my
I will
my
see.
secret formula.
Since I've been working out, I've been taking a vitamin regimen. And I do agree. When I go to the bathroom and pee, it is this neon, like
Yep.
green or yellow sometimes. And I do agree with you. So
Yeah.
it is a female ejaculate then.
I say yes, just based on my own scientific evidence alone that my squirt is clear and my pee is yellow.
So a guy has been able to make you squirt before.
Oh yeah, it's really easy. Yeah, it took me a long time to actually
Now,
figure
is it about
it.
size or is it about the situation and being turned on?
I wouldn't say it has anything to do with size. It just has to be pushing the right button, and yeah, me being like in a good mental headspace and being turned on. Yeah, definitely.
And I'm sorry because like I really do think because there are a lot of guys, even though guys want to act like they're the dominant species, they're the dominant gender.
Uh-huh.
Um, a lot of guys are kind of clueless when it comes to what women really want.
Yeah, for me, I mostly date and play with people in like the BDSM world, and I feel like those people, men and women or non-binary people, kind of have more experience and ask more questions just because you're supposed to, make sure everybody is consensual and happy and yada yada yada. And then if I ever date somebody that's vanilla, it's like a learning curve. I have to teach them, which
Have you?
I'm okay with, but it's just different. Like I forget that I don't know. I feel like normal people aren't equipped with the proper tools, and porn doesn't really teach you anything. So it's a
Yeah.
little bit of a struggle. And hopefully they'll get good female partners that tell them what they want too. I think that's also an issue, is I have a lot of men that tell me the women don't tell them what they want or what they like, and so they're kind of stumbling around in the dark.
Do you have any female clients that you dominate?
I do. Yes.
Like, I mean, can you kind of give me a little bit of a difference on like what are the differences between a submissive female than a submissive male? Like, are there any differences or are they the same?
Well, I think depends on the person. I feel like women can take a little bit more pain than men. And maybe
Well, women have to give birth, so
Yeah.
women have a higher threshold of pain.
That's what I think too. Especially if I play with a woman who has given birth, I feel like she's got the strongest pain tolerance of anyone. I can just beat her to hell and back, and she's still happy and eager to please. So that's pretty fun.
What is the one thing when it comes to pain
Mhm.
that you've been like, you had to like take a step back and be like, oh, this is kind of extreme. Like, this is like, how is this person taking this? And it's not like they're in a lot of pain, they're actually enjoying it. But what has been that one pain thing when it comes to dominating somebody that you've had to like, ooh man, this is a little way out there?
I would say one time in the middle of a scene, a client I do needle play, which is just basically
Now
very
give me like,
shallow,
how big are needles? Like, are we
very
talking just going a little deep in the skin, or
yeah.
like where do you use the needles?
Very shallow, a size 23 for those with know what that means. It's kind of like a diabetic size. And that
Okay,
is
so that's
like,
really skinny. That's
yeah,
really skinny.
it's kind of like when you use it on certain parts of the body, you think of it like pressure points, you get like a really big adrenaline rush and you get kind of
So
high.
it's kind of like what you call it, acupuncture.
Yeah, exactly. So if you can sort of get that like endorphins going, it feels really good. And it's very shallow. There's usually no blood or anything. It's still like really crazy looking, but
Have you ever had to put a needle in the head of a guy's penis?
well, that was what one guy asked, and I'm okay with, like I said, doing kind of surface stuff, but he wanted me to take a humongous needle and shove it straight through his dick, and I was like,
Wait,
oh, I don't know.
wait. So like through the top of the head, through the bottom of the head, or in the pee hole?
No, like if I was holding a hot dog straight up sideways, like yeah.
Oh, like
Like
through the base of it then,
yeah,
like through like sideways. So if you were POV, point of view, looking at the penis,
mhm,
and you're talking like straight from like left to right,
yeah,
going through the base.
yeah.
Now,
And it was a really big needle, and I just was nervous about maybe striking a blood vessel or a nerve that I wasn't familiar with,
how
so I didn't want to do it.
now when you do stuff like that, are you careful, like wearing gloves
Oh
and
yeah, oh yeah.
being very like careful with things?
Yeah, I've taken like a bloodborne pathogen class. I'm first aid certified, CPR, all that. And then I trained under somebody that's a nurse at all of these like kink events. So he's really well equipped and he works in a hospital. So everything I've learned from him. And I don't really do anything that extreme. It's pretty.
Yeah. Hey, so Scarlett, before I let you go, let everybody know once again where they can find you. I think this has been one of the best conversations that me and you have had. You look absolutely amazing, by the way.
Thank
Like,
you.
I'm just being honest. Like this is. I mean, I've always thought you've been extremely attractive, but this is like you at peak attractiveness when it comes to Scarlett Lush. So tell everybody how they can find you and check out your content.
Okay, it is scarlettlush.com is my website. It's also my Twitter handle. Instagram got removed, so my new one is Slush's Toes, and that's SLUSHES Toes.
You need to get on TikTok. You got to get on some TikTok. I think you would be great on TikTok.
Okay, I'll look into TikTok. I heard that they're pretty band friendly for people like me though, but I'll look into.
No, but I think if you play it right, let me write up some ideas for you that I think that would be great for you. Because like for example, they do a lot of like innuendo type stuff, like for example, like, you know, if they're gonna get mad about stuff, there was this one chick who was like, oh, after my boyfriend's been away for like a month, and it's like a POV of her, and she's got like moisturizer all over her face, acting like she got like a facial from her boyfriend type stuff. And I'm like, if they're getting away with that type of stuff, there's so many other things you can do.
That's true. Yeah.
So I think you being on TikTok, and I'll help you out with some ideas. Like, I don't post a lot, but I watch and I kind of take in on what works and what doesn't work. So if you wanna brainstorm on some stuff you can do, because I think it would be a great way to drive people to your OnlyFans page.
Yeah, send me some ideas. I will definitely check them out.
All right, Scarlett. I want to thank you for being on.
Yeah.
You look amazing as always. Is that the same necklace you've had on, or is that from another pet?
It's the same one. It's the Scarlet. It's one of my long-term clients gave it to me forever ago. I really like it though.
Are you still with that one guy that you had on a couple of times ago that I talked with
Yeah,
you?
I am. Yeah. He cooks for me. I like people that can cook. I like men that can cook. So yeah, he cooks for me.
See, I know you lived in the South for quite a while. I think I could cook you up a pretty good meal. And, I think it's a pretty good trade. I cook you a meal and let you beat the F out of me.
I think
You
that's
know,
a perfect date.
so like if you're down to film some stuff, I think people would pay to see the world famous Scarlett Lush abuse Tuddle from the radio.
I am totally down. When COVID is better, I'm going to be back in Florida, and I think we should do it. It would be so much fun.
Don't tease me.
I'm not teasing you.
No,
I
I've
would
been
only
trying to do this. I've been trying to do this with you for a while. Like, all the dumb stuff I've done. Like, I'm basically turning myself over. See, look, I got my hands together. As soon as I walk through the door, I'm ready for you to be under complete domination and control. I'll give you an hour. I will give you an hour of uninterrupted. You can do whatever you want to me in that hour time frame.
Marks are okay. I can leave you some marks.
Yes. Oh, come on. If I showed you all the scars I have all over my body, you'd be like, oh, you were a slave back in the 1800s from all the marks and everything I have all over my body. So yes, you can leave as many marks as you want to. I'm telling you, for that hour, I don't get to make any decisions. You have complete undivided control of me.
Sounds awesome.
And I'm down for it. And listen, I'm your friend. This is not going to be like, oh, I'm doing this because I'm trying to get some sexual return from it. No, I think it would be great entertainment for the both of us where you get to do whatever you want to me for a complete hour.
I agree. I'm totally down.
All right, Scarlett. I'm so happy to talk to you again. You are always going to be a great friend of mine, and I'm always here if you need anything.
Yeah.
Once again, before I leave, tell people how they can find your stuff.
Just Google Scarlett Lush with 2 T's, pretty much anywhere, and that's where you'll find me. Message me anywhere you want. I'll respond. I'm good at responding to DMs.
All right, Scarlett. I hope you have a wonderful night, and it was good talking to you. Yeah. You look amazing.
Thank you. Good luck with your
Bye. Bye.
Bye.